Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kayfabe with Keaton. Right here to my right, I have none other than the Suplexorcist, Redmond.
Hi Keaton, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad, mate.
So, Redmond, what is your first memory of professional wrestling?
My first memory of professional wrestling was actually like before DVDs. There was videos, and I had a video of Fully Loaded 1998, which was years and years ago. And I remember the first memory was a tag team match between Stone Cold and Undertaker, and it was against Mankind and uh, Kane. I remember that. That was my first introduction to wrestling. I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. And then my first proper watching show, start to finish, live was No Mercy 2003. That got me into it.
And then, how did you first start training in professional wrestling?
COVID, yeah, like during COVID, it was you kind of evaluate a lot of things. You decide what you really want to do because you're locked in the house for ages. And I saw an advert for professional wrestling in Belfast for Titanic, and I just thought, you know what, time's short, might as well give it a try. And I showed up in the first training session and met JDP, and the rest is history.
And did your friends and family all agree to you doing pro wrestling? Were some scared of you getting hurt or something like that?
It was strange. It was something because I've got siblings. I've got a brother who was really into wrestling, and as soon as I told him, he just couldn't believe it. He was very surprised. He was do it. And you've always wanted to do this, so do it. And he kind of pushed me towards it. And yeah, they were really really supportive.
And what was a typical training session like for you before you made it big?
For me, a big uh, training session. My first training sessions were uh, obviously JDP. A lot of cardio. You would do, rolls, bumps, do your bump sets, uh, and then you would get in with Rocky. Rocky was is an incredible coach. Same as JDP. All your rolls, all your bumps, all your cardio. Make sure you get them nailed, and then you can do the other stuff.
And when you were getting trained by the likes of Rocky Star and Tucker, who are two, I would call two legends, and definitely in the game of Northern Ireland, JDP, who's revolutionised Northern Irish pro wrestling around the country. What was your most favourite thing that he taught you or told you?
Uh, so you got a few there. I remember Rocky. Rocky would always push you to try it. He always say I can't do it. Like I'd say I can't do this. I can't do this at all. And I'd be like, sure you can, do it. Uh, there's certain things I look back at and I would go, I couldn't do that like at all. And he'd go, do it, I bet you can. And then you would do it, and he goes, told you. Same with JDP. He would say, see if you do it, just do it. And I did it, and that was it. And then Tucker, again, like I said, he great coach, and they all just really push you to try and achieve stuff that you think you can't do.
Who was your debut match against?
Oh, do you want tag or do you want singles? Or do you want both?
Just sing, both, sure.
Both. Tag. It was me and Mohan. The Aliens were against Kurt Cooper and Jack Ritter. It was back suplex to the future a couple years ago for Titanic. Yeah, that was our debut as the Aliens. And then my debut singles match was against Black Richards, the Standard, on a Saturday show. And yeah, rest is history.
And you, especially Mohan, and you done a lot of high flying moves, drop kicks, things like that. At the time, now you're just a wrecking ball. You've joined with Miguel the Clown and everything, but at that time you were doing drop kicks and moves off the top rope and things like that. Um, how and you and the Hallions, you can tell, had really good in ring chemistry. So how did the Hallions first meet?
Hallions first met, so we both showed up at the same training session, same day, turned up, and I don't know, me and Mohan just it kind of clicked right away. Uh, and yeah, we became friends with wrestling. Uh, and yeah, it just kind of came about. I remember we had loads of names that we were coming back and forth with. Some terrible tag team names where you go, oh, what were we thinking? Uh, and then we just settled on the Hellions, and we went, yep, that's gonna stick.
And we've got a comment coming in here from Darren Whitehead who asks, Redmond, was there a time when you really felt like you could do some of the moves? You seem so confident in your abilities. Has that taken time to believe in yourself?
So some can do some of the moves. Oh, yeah, just there is a few moves that I'm always like, I've never really, I didn't have confidence at the start, but then repetition of the move, you just keep hitting it and keep hitting it. I remember probably the first time doing Germans, I was like, this is scary. This is scary to give somebody, and it's one of these moves where it's pretty dangerous. But I remember doing them and went, okay, that went perfect. Let's do it again. Also, stalling suplexes, uh, big vertical suplexes. I remember spending a good couple hours one session just making sure I can get them and go up for them, and yeah, that sort of thing. But it's taken a bit of time to kind of believe in yourself in a way.
And when you were talking about doing the vertical suplexes, was it more the fear of dropping like one of the guys in their heads, and is that why you were scared doing it, or were you scared for like injuring yourself or injuring your opponent?
I think it's more. Uh, I'm not very balanced. I don't know if you know this. I'm not very good balance. So getting up there, definitely, I'm like, I'm going to be upside down, and I'm going to be upside down quite high up. So I want to make sure I can get up there. And yeah, it's just more about trying to get up there and trying to believe in myself I can do it.
I know, when you're in the middle of doing them moves, it's so scary thinking what could happen. You know, if you land on your head, if you something bad happens.
Got to always trust what's going to happen. Don't worry about that.
And Scenic Spots asks, you guys, Galleons were awesome as a tag
God.
team. Will we ever see them rekindle?
uh, Never say never. Never say never. We are on two very different paths right now, uh, but you never know.
And what was Mohan like as a tag team partner?
Mohan was great. Mohan was a great tag team partner. We had a lot of ideas that would bounce off each other. And Mohan is a very talented wrestler. I will say that. And like you said earlier, we do have in ring chemistry, but he was great.
And now, before Mohan was a fan favorite, again, he's done some very skilled moves, top rope moves, but now Mohan has had a full change of character into the stars aligned. I was talking to him a couple of days ago, and people will know how much he's changed. What's your opinion on the new style of Mohan?
You do you, Mohan. Just don't get in my way. You know what I mean?
What's your favorite move to perform in the ring?
uh, that's a good one. It's a very good one. I've got a few. I do love my German suplexes. It's one of these ones where I'm like, I know I can hit them and I can hit them all right. I hit, well, not hit, I did a brainbuster not that long ago. It's a favourite to hit. Uh, Good back suplex as well. But I do enjoy just a straight punch in the face.
So you're called the Suplexorcist for a reason then.
Indeed I am, Keaton, you know this.
And it seems now that you're having a big rivalry with Jordy Boy. How'd that all come about?
So, see Jordy, obviously with happened with Megalo, where I'm in control of Megalo. I see Jordy and I see a little bit of badness in him. I want to bring that badness out a little bit. I want to let Jordy be bad. The only way by doing that is beating him down a little bit more.
And when Jordy Boy, as you say, expresses his badness, will we see a faction of Jordy Boy, the new bad Jordy Boy, Redmond and Magallo?
Never know. Never say never, Keaton. I'm holding my cards close to my chest, but never say never. I just want Jordy to realize like being bad is it gets you what you want.
And have you ever had any bad injuries?
I have. I've had a good few. Well, not good few. I've had injuries. I got a concussion in a match. I'm not going to say which, but that knocked me silly for a good couple of days. I also don't even know my finger. This finger, I broke it not that long ago. I just went down and all my weight went on my finger and snapped it,
Oh,
and then snapped it again. It's a bit annoying, but it's what it is. But no, nothing too terrible. An odd broken rib. That's about it.
oh, broken rib.
Yeah, yeah. It was just a awkward landing.
And when you were in the Hellions, who was your favorite tag team to work with?
Standard, standard are definitely up there for favorites. All of them guys, Eddie Stone, Black Richards, and Stephen Carvel, incredibly talented, and they were fun to wrestle. I would say the Savers as well, Savers of Destiny. Uh, Again, more talented people, and definitely enjoyed wrestling them.
And speaking of the standard, when you were talking about the standard there, before the standard, when you faced the standard were a vicious tag team. The Hellions were not vicious. What they'd done was they used high flying moves to win matches. But now we're seeing a new style of Redmond, new change of character with Redmond, and he faced Stephen Carvel, and as you can see, he was bleeding. Uh, Stephen Carvel did not know who he was facing in this match. It's a full different Redmond. So tell us about that.
So Carvel, uh, going into this, I've said at length he was the big bad, and he is a big bad at Titanic. You know this. You've seen what he's done. I just simply wanted to bring out the badness in Carvel again. Bring him back out. Bring back what you were. And what happened in that ring when I split him open with the chair. It happens. And I don't know, Carvel, it was a pleasure to wrestle. And might happen again.
And why did the Hellions split?
When Aliens split, it well, Mohan busted me in the head with a microphone. Uh he got injured, taken out by the Saviors, all those months ago and returned. And I was happy to see him. And then what does he do? He smashed a microphone into my head and, a knife in the back. So that's why they split. Of course, I've wrestled Mohan a good few times, and, it won't be the last time I wrestle him.
We've got a comment coming in here from Sarah. Oh, who says, "Hey Keaton, I want to challenge you in a WWE match." Uh, and Redmond, how'd you come up with the name the Suplexorcist?
See, I don't know if you know, I'm a big horror fan. I'm a big horror fan, and uh, it just can't happen naturally. We were going through all these nicknames of what I could do, and I think I was actually watching The Exorcist, and then it just kind of clicked, and I went, "No, that sounds pretty cool. That fits." So stuck with it.
And who do you think's the best match you've ever had against?
Probably the last match, Stephen Carvel. That was a match that I'm very proud of, very very proud of. There's actually a good few matches that I'm very proud of. I wrestled Tucker last year. Uh, I really, really enjoyed that match. Obviously, me and Mohan uh, very much enjoyed it. And Lucas Lloyd Barr, actually, I wrestled at last year's Halloween. I really enjoyed that match. And then, there's so many I can name. Like even the multi-person match at Slam Dynamic for the title, and Geordie Boys match. Like, incredibly proud of all of them.
And when you were talking there about the Halloween show, against Lucas Loudbar. That was a very horrifying night for you. Magalo, 7 foot clown, came out and attacked you. Someone who has been terrifying you and who had been terrifying you for weeks. What made you want to join Magalo Clown?
Same adage, Keaton. You know, you seen what Megalo did to me. He put a chair around my neck. He terrorized me. He dropped that big leg in that chair, and in that moment, I says, why not just give in? Why not just be the badness you need to be to get what you want? So I did. He was terrorizing me, and I joined, and here we are.
And now, Redmond, you can tell that you're a lot more confident in yourself. Before, did you ever feel like you weren't good enough?
That's an interesting question. Like you always have kind of a imposter syndrome of I'm wrestling. I'm a wrestler, but I'm a doing okay. Like I'm my own worst critic. I can have a great match and then come back and be like that was terrible for me. It's just one of these things that you do. I'm a lot more confident because I know exactly who I am. I'm the Suplexorcist. I know exactly what I can do and what I'm about. So I feel a lot more confident now.
And how were you able to deal with that imposter syndrome?
I don't. It's funny. You kind of just start being nicer to yourself. You go, I actually did all right there. I did okay. Like instead of going, oh, it's terrible. Oh, that was actually pretty good. And then it's still there. Don't worry. But it just gets better.
And when Mohan turned on you, it probably hurt more than it probably hurt your feelings more than the microphone going right through your head. How did you get your revenge?
How did I get my revenge? The very next show, I wrestled Phil Boyd, and I beat Phil Boyd, and I cut a promo calling him out, and I says, "You're going to come to Titanic, and I'm going to show you what happens." And then he came to Titanic. I speared him out of his boots, and I tapped him out. So that's how I dealt with it. Dealt with it properly.
And at that point, you were a face. At that point, you were well loved by the fans. Now you're a heel, and I think you're very good at being a heel. What do you think is the most cruel thing or dastardly thing you've done to get over as a heel?
Ooh, that's a good one. Uh, that's a very good one. You've stumped me there. Uh, I don't know. My paint. I always wear my paint to kind of make people a little scared, make people want to come back and see what's next. Uh, you know, Jumping Geordie Boy, don't regret that. Jump Geordie Boy in an alleyway. Uh, Beat Geordie Boy down, smashed him against the wall. Don't regret it at all. I've like you see Mohammed Carvel, split him with a chair. Just vicious. Just be vicious.
And when you were in the middle when you were teaming with Megalo the clown, in the middle of the All Star match, it seemed like something bad happened to you. Megalo tried to cheat, and it didn't turn out very well for you. Uh, Next time for if you if you get a challenge for an All Star Championship match, how you gonna be able to how you gonna work better next time to try to win the next match against PBD for the All Star Championship? What went wrong at that time, and how you gonna be able to overcome that?
Like you mentioned earlier, where wrestle now, I'm just a wrecking ball. I don't want flashiness. Just gonna come in there and wreck shop, uh, and be as vicious as I can. PBD was a great All-Star champion. Now it's Gary Gibson. Uh, you're all good, don't worry. And if given the opportunity to wrestle, I'm just gonna do whatever it takes. You know, Megalo comes to help. Megalo helps. If I gotta use a chair, I will to get that win.
And what about if you get disqualified? What are you gonna do then?
Oh, I'm just gonna be as bad as I can.
And we got a question in here from Mary Molly. Will we see gold? or on Redmond in 2025?
I hope so. I hope so. I really, really do. You know, there's so much talent in that roster right now. There's so much talent in Titanic. I can't put over enough people. You got PBD, Gary, who else? The Buys, everyone you can imagine. Patsy Thunder, the Dark Horse, everyone, and there's everyone is vying for an opportunity at the titles. If I can get gold, and I will do whatever it takes. Like I said, I'll definitely try.
And when you do your promos, I've been watching them before, and even though they're terrifying, they are still very entertaining to watch. For is there much hard work that goes on behind the scenes for these promos?
Uh, Definitely, yeah, yeah. There's a. It's more about trying to keep it different. I like people tuning into a promo. Like for me, it'd be if a promo is a minute and a half, 2 minutes, keep me entertained for 2 minutes. Uh, and like I did a promo like a dream before. I've done promo in churches. I've done my face painted everything. And there's a lot goes there, but it always has to tell a story. It always has to be stick to myself, stick to what I know. Also, uh, yeah, just have an idea of it. Try and make them as scary as I can. And yeah, there is a lot of hard work goes on behind the scenes with them.
And I think another reason for the wrestling show selling out so quickly in Titanic is because of promos and of storytelling. But there must be some other reason why we're in the new golden era of wrestling in Northern Ireland. It's selling out everywhere. What do you think this big boom is for this new golden era?
Uh, there's a few factors. I think Titanic has come so far, really has since I started in the first shows all the way on the way back. Uh, and like I said, the roster is stacked. It's so good. Uh, like I'm gonna put it, everyone just kind of works so hard to try and make this something, and we have guidance from our coaches and promoters, everything. And yeah, I'm just so happy with Titanic and how it's going. But there's definitely like stories, roster, production, everything's just kind of improving.
And I have seen that with Titanic. Everything about Titanic it just got way more professional. Even the storylines between it's far more enjoyable to watch. Titanic's always been brilliant to watch, but it just been got so much better. And I know you're one of the reasons for that as well, with how good you're doing with the storylines.
Shucks. uh, it's like you said, it's stories. We really everyone gives it their all, and everyone kind of brings their A game coming up. Like what's next? Like what can we do next? What's can we do to improve the next show? Okay, we had all these people come. Okay, what can we do next? Let's bigger, bigger, bigger. Whether that be matches, stories, anything.
And Mighty Molly says, Redmond, you are a far better promo than those A-list actors.
I'll take that, but yeah, the stars aligned are they're pretty good promo makers.
And I'm just going to go into our watch along screen here. Play some of your matches.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
One of the promos is coming on here. This is one of the most scary, terrifying promos.
Titanic Wrestling, I am your Reaper. Jordy boy, you didn't win.
What's it like making them promos?
You barely survived.
Well,
I'm
it's
here
very
to
fun.
find you.
It's,
The fear is a tool of a man-made devil,
Or it's
and
hard to
I'm the
describe,
serpent in the garden.
you get them,
And
you
I'm
get an
the
idea, and
serpent
you
in
just
the
try and make
garden.
it as good as you can. Like
You
I've
may
got,
have had a miracle
you know,
from the man upstairs.
I don't know.
He's not
It's just
gonna
very,
be
very fun
there
to
when the
see
end
them from the
times
start, from
come.
an idea all the way to the end.
Bone chilling battle royal.
And
That one,
I'm gonna throw it
are
every
you
that one
trained in
there was
Titanic?
and take what's mine.
But
Sorry, go
A
ahead.
shot at the Titanic
that one there was fun.
Championship. Make no
It was very, very
mistake.
fun to make.
This paint, it's not
was in
for
the middle
your
of the night.
amusement.
I enjoyed
I'm not here to
that.
make you laugh.
Hello, Night.
I'm here for
Oh,
the
not laugh too.
gold. I fear no monsters.
I remember that. That was.
No monsters I see. Because there's no monsters.
Yeah, I think that kind of kicked it off for him, where it was like, okay, how much can we do? How much can we make these as creepy as you can?
Oh, this is your match against Jordy Boy here. This was a recent match.
Yeah, remember that very well. It was September.
That's what I advocate for.
Here it comes.
Oh, here comes your favorite.
Redmon is calling
That
for
was-
it here.
Here we go. Here we go.
Sheer drop
That won't
for
happen
a
again.
monster.
Well done.
No, it won't happen again.
Did you not like performing that move?
Oh, but he gets the
No, I love that move. I love that move so much. It's
Don't tease me like this.
it's definitely something that I want to keep doing in the future.
And Darren Whitehead is. We have the reminder set for the WWE on Netflix on 7th of January. Do you still watch wrestling on TV or go to big stadium shows?
It's funny. I've not been to like a proper big like stadium show. Obviously every wrestler's dream is to attend, you know, WrestleMania or Rumble or something. I've never been to a big proper one. But definitely still watch wrestling on TV, you know, SmackDown and Raw. Every so often, you know, look in and see.
What a counter that was as well. And this is Matt Schuyler here, I think.
That is the very Matt Schuyler.
Redmond.
What a match that was. You know, Matt Schuyler's so athletic and all as well.
He's
Showing him that's what you get.
wrestling him made very, very fun. He's very athletic lad.
And I believe you're one of the coaches behind the scenes.
Is he going for a third?
Yeah, recently
The waist lock.
I think I've just been an assistant. The coaches, yeah.
He gets him. Yes.
And
Ooh, bridging
Well-
pin.
what's your favourite
No.
aspect of?
Skyler stays in this thing.
Oh, sorry, I think you broke up a wee bit there, Keaton.
Redmond is absolutely
What's your favourite aspect of
incensed
being one of the coaches?
right now. Just wants to create carnage in this ring.
Even just assisting,
He is revving up. The
seeing
Titanic fans are behind him.
seeing people just get better and better.
Clothesline in the corner.
Like seeing people
Strength
from,
of
you know,
Redmon
week 1
never
to
fails to
week
stun.
6 or however long it takes,
Well,
seeing them get better and
Schuyler's
more
stunned right
confident
now.
in there is always rewarding. It's very rewarding.
Jumps right over Redmond's head.
Oh, what a
Was that
move!
out of nowhere.
Betty White.
He's going for it.
Betty White.
The Betty White.
What's that move called?
The Betty White.
He calls it the Betty
One,
White.
2.
Betty White.
No.
Yeah, I think that was Mohan on commentary calling it the Betty White.
Even older than sliced bread.
Who are the unsung heroes behind Titanic Wrestling success?
Matt Schuyler within an inch of beating the suplexorcist.
Unsung
Stepping
heroes.
on Redmond's hand.
That's a hard one. There's so many people behind the scenes. Like the coaches, obviously, like
Got it. F5.
Dark Force. You got Tucker, JDP, Rocky. You know,
Vicious
who else?
1.
Yeah,
2,
there's
3.
loads of unsung heroes. Even Tony on cameras and everything. Yeah,
Stephen Carvel,
I think even
the redeemed one.
who else?
You're beginning to walk a path of redemption.
There's just
Like it's
so
some
many
sort
people.
of
I can't even name everybody. Everybody's an unsung hero.
grace.
And it takes so much just to run an indie company like Titanic. Everybody needs to work together, and I think that's what's so good about Titanic. You know, everybody does work together.
Yeah, everyone puts a shift in, and it's kind of one of those things. Like I said earlier, you want to make it better. You want to make, you know, the last show. Okay, what's next? Bigger show, bigger this time, and everyone just try and work together.
I am the harbinger of chaos.
And T said his videos asked, this is a very good question here. Heard any rumours of NXT Europe? If you had the chance, would you attend trials?
I've no. I remember there was rumors of NXT Europe like ages ago, just after NXT UK shut down. If you had the chance to attend trials here, I had that opportunity. I would take it, run. I'd love to get a lot more experience. Obviously, working everywhere I can. But if given the chance, I'd never ever pass that up.
And Bring Back Paddy says, I see the Hollands versus Paddy and Oren on the poster behind you. Can you remember coming to NXT Redmond? Oh, see that there? Yeah, that's actually signed as well.
Yeah, it's signed.
Best piece of memorabilia from Redmond.
Yeah. I do remember NXT. I remember like very vividly. It was Hallions and Paddy and Lauren Mack was one. I remember the match was actually great. Working with both those lads. I remember wrestling the Flamma and John McCann in a tag match. But yeah, I remember those two matches well. They were early Hallions days. They were fun.
Would you ever turn back to NIPW?
Yeah, never say never. I'll work wherever.
And I believe you worked for Fight Factory as well. Not only didn't work for them, but you done a show for them, didn't you?
Yes, I've done Next Gen. Me and Mohan. We did a match. When was it? It was MJ Chef and Mr. Charlie versus the Hallions, and that was a fun one. That whole match was Mr. MJ Chef's what was it? It predicted the future as cookbook. That was the whole match. That was very fun there. And then I recently wrestled in Longford for Fight Factory at one of their live shows. Enjoyed that. Really enjoyed it. I'd love to work more Fight Factory and, like I said, anywhere.
And this here's a match you were talking about with Stephen Carvell.
It is indeed.
You're right. What a match that was. Never seen a new Stephen Carvell. You know, a friendlier Stephen Carvell.
I think the old bad Carvel. That's what we need. Like I said, I want to bring out everyone's inner monster. There's a big one in Carvel.
And you want your teaming with Megalo the Clown. Do you want it to be global, where you get where you just take over Titanic, or do you want it to be global, where you take over the whole of the professional wrestling world and everybody knows the name of Redmon and Megalo?
Wherever we go, Titanic's our home, and I want to make Titanic as good as possible. And if we go elsewhere, we'll take it. But Titanic's definitely home.
And that's when you have so many tattoos. But what's your favorite tattoo you have? What's the one that means most to you?
I was asked for the questions earlier. I remember going through. I've got quite a few tattoos at this point. I've got one on my ribs. I've got a ram on my ribs. That was for a friend who's no longer with us. I remember getting that done. I've got probably the panther on my arm. I remember getting that done, and probably the one on my hip that you can just see there. That was the start of a very long friendship with my tattooist. Well, another tattooist. Yeah, just a few mean a lot, but definitely the one on the ribs.
I have a question coming in here from Scenic Spots, who asks, how good is Stephen Carvell? Such a promo. Is he a face now?
He is unfortunately a good guy now, but Carvell, I see the badness in you. I see the badness. Carvell's very good, very, very talented. Very, very talented individual in there. Yeah, he's very good.
And are you living the wrestling dream, or is there still more to achieve for you?
No, there's still more to achieve. There's still more to achieve. Uh, a few things I want to achieve definitely. Uh, but living the dream now. Well, the dream was to be a wrestler. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to be a wrestler for so long, and just being able to say like I'm doing it is cool as is. But there's definitely more I want to achieve.
And do you have any funny stories or embarrassing moments that you can share with us that you had in wrestling?
Uh, let me see. There was a match actually. Italians. We did a match in Phoenix, uh, and it was me and Mohan against Dino and CBL. And I remember the match was all about Elvis
Elvis?
and Elvis and Elvis. And I remember we were doing that match, and it was just laughter, just so much laughter. That was one of those matches you look back on and you go, "What was that?" But you had a lot of fun with it.
And Titanic Spot says, Battle of the back tattoos.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a wee bit more done, which is fun. He's got some tattoo, but not too sure who wins in this one.
Well, for Redmond, who it's coming to the new year, and you know we can only get better and better with Magallo by your side. Are you hoping for Titanic Tag Team Gold?
You never know. You never know if that Geordie boy. I'll get you for this. Could be tag gold, could be all Ulster, could be big green world title. Coming for it. I want gold. That should be everyone's goal in wrestling is to be a champ and achieve success. But there might be other plans. Who knows? Maybe other objectives I want to hit first.
And what is your signature move right now?
Signature move, spear. Well, gore. I'm a big fan of Rhino. Growing up, Rhino was my favorite wrestler. Got a few favorite wrestlers actually that like Jerry Lynn. Uh, who else? Jerry Lynn, Rhino, Jimmy Noble.
Jimmy
I
Noble?
was a big Jimmy Noble fan for quite some time. Uh, Obviously John Cena and the likes, but definitely the gore. Gore's something I take pride in the Brainbuster. And what else? Germans. Any suplex. Clues in the name, Keaton. Loads of suplexes.
But when you were talking there about Rhino and you growing up liking Jamie Noble and people like that, you would not normally hear a child that grew up liking Jamie Noble and Jerry Lynn and all them their idols.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. Obviously, you love The Rock. I love The Rock. I love Stone Cold. Love, John Cena, the likes. But I looking back, I've got so many like unsung heroes. Even Billy Kidman. I was a big fan of Billy Kidman back in the day. Who else? Man, it's like when people ask you what's your favorite movie, and you just forget every movie. uh, yeah, definitely Rhino. Definitely Rhino. I've come to appreciate when I'm older. Uh, Watching his old ECW stuff, how crazy and how good he was. Same as Jerry Lynn. I love Jerry Lynn. I think he's incredibly talented, unsung, underrated. Uh, but yeah, you never really hear people be like, "Oh, I love these guys."
Yeah. And when you talk about a lot of different characters, would you say that that's why your character's who you are because of some of these guys?
It's kind of a mixture. It's kind of a mixture of like, wrestlers that you grew up with. Early Rhino, whenever he was, in ECW, how like intense he was and how focused he was. Definitely that. But then you also have horror movies and outside factors, other media. As I said earlier, I love horror movies and seeing all that I think, yeah, can definitely influence us.
And here we're seeing that vertical suplex that you're talking about.
I was very proud of that one. Very proud. I think that was probably how many matches in? Less than 10 matches in. And very proud of that one. Definitely different. Definitely grown from then.
And you done so well in that match as well. It was a really good match.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Like I said, I was in there with had Mohan there. I was wrestling two great talents in Black and uh, Eddie Stone, and you know it was fun, definitely fun. But there's a few wrestlers I want to tick off that I want to be like wrestled. There's a good few.
And out of anyone, WWE, NIPW, you know, NXT, absolutely anywhere, Titanic. Who would you like to wrestle the most out of anyone?
Oh, I can go definitely a good few here. got a lovely list. Titanic, uh, PBD, want to wrestle PBD. Uh, Gary, Gary Gibson, JDP, want to wrestle JDP. Want to wrestle Horse. Remember having a small match. Well, not small. I've wrestled Horse before, but I want to wrestle Horse again. Definitely. There's so many talents in Titanic itself. Further afield, let's see. Like, are we talking like anybody right now?
Absolutely anybody.
Absolutely anybody. Ooh, uh, I would love to wrestle like a Dragonov. Do you know what? One of my favorite wrestlers in the scene right now, like all over the place in independent wrestling, is Carnoir. Everyone, if you hear me talk about favorite wrestlers, Carnoir is definitely there. I would love to wrestle him eventually. God knows when. Who else? Uh, I don't know. You obviously got the big ones. Do you want to wrestle? But there's a few in Titanic and here in Ireland that I want to take off.
And I can imagine a match with someone kind of like the same character as you, maybe like the Undertaker or someone like that.
I mean, I mean, he's a good bit taller and a good bit heavier and a good hell of a lot better than me. I think I'd be outmatched there a lot. Obviously, that'd be a dream. That'd be a dream. Like any kid wrestler would be like, yeah, I want to wrestle Undertaker. But I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
And in the middle of this match here, you can tell th- the there's a lot of good selling going on here. And it's really good. You know, the drama in the match as well. That's what storytelling. That's what the match is all about. You know, storytelling. That's what makes it good. What do you think's the key to uh like unleashing great storytelling in a match?
Really giving your all to a story, giving it all. Uh, really putting effort into it, and if you were in, say, Keaton, when you come to shows, keeps you enthralled. I want to be in a seat and be like, I want to be entertained by this whole match. Imagine, 10-year-old you, what do you want to see? And what would keep you enthralled? That's what I think. And yeah, just keeping it fun.
And as you can see in this match, this is a match where the Hallions are at their best. You know, there's no fallout here. But right now, do you think you're still? Would we ever see the Hallions coming back again?
I think right now, Chris is doing. Oh, Mohan, sorry. CJ Mohan is doing his thing right now with Stars Aligned, and I'm doing my thing with Megalo. Not right now, but I will never say never. Stranger things have happened.
And I wonder what match this is. Do you know? Oh, I know what it is.
And Mohan. That's spearing him out of his boots. Oh, oh.
Oh, oh.
I remember whenever this came up, I made sure to get the best gear that I could.
Why is that?
Well, big match. Gotta put on the shinies.
I'm surprised how quickly this went. I thought it was going to be, a big match with storytelling and things like that, but it was just so quick.
Yep. Grab him. He just wasn't expecting it, and caught off guard. We had another match down the line. I'm not too sure when it was, but it was quite a while ago. But we had a match again. It went longer, and I'm very very proud of that match. What we did.
And now that 2025 is coming up, uh, is there a dream place that you want to wrestle in, or a dream place that you want to go to for wrestling?
I mean, there is places I'd love to wrestle. Yeah. Right now, I want to wrestle just anywhere I can. Like I said, I want to help make Titanic as good as I can. Uh, but also, like you've got like RCW. I've wrestled in RCW. Would love to wrestle there again. Fight Factory. Where else? Even across the water. Wherever I can. I remember I went to a progress show. When was it? Maybe a year and a half so ago. Uh, I see a cage match between Spike Gervais and Cara Noir, and the atmosphere there in the Electric Ballroom is incredible. I'd love to wrestle there, but for now, I just want to work anywhere.
And right now, are you living the dream? Are you living the wrestling dream? And what? So now, are you living the wrestling dream, or for 2025? What do you want to achieve if not?
2025. Keep scaring people as much as I can. Keep it scary. Keep. I just want to keep being scary and keep developing who I am. Uh, Goals: work as much as I can, wrestle as much as I can, get out there as much as I can.
And I'm a wrestler and training in the NIPW. If you could go back in time and tell your younger self absolutely anything, what would it be?
Just keep doing it. Do it. Just keep at it. Honestly, you'll pick up so much. And listen. Just listen. You know, and just don't be worried about trying things. If something goes bad, grand. That's fine. Move on. Uh, just keep practicing everything that you do. Keep practicing your rolls. Keep practicing your bumps. Keep practicing just everything you can. Just keep doing what you're doing.
And a lot of wrestlers I've interviewed have talked about that they do have rituals, before they go to a match to get themselves hyped up. What would be your rituals?
Ooh, rituals. Uh, well, make sure get the paint on, get my get the paint done, get it sorted. Warm up, really warm up. Uh, can't stress this enough. Just warm up, get in the zone. Uh, Music as well, but I'm also weird. I like keeping myself away from as much as I can, especially when I'm about to go out there. Just keep a clear mindset and just focus on what's going on next.
And thanks very much for coming on, Redmond. This has been great. Great interview.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on, Keaton. Thank you very much.
Yes, this was an awesome interview. And as for the next Kayfabe with Keaton, want to thank. Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It was great.
Thank you very much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Bye. And for the next Kayfabe with Keaton, coming up next Sunday. The Ultimate Smick, Stevie Fee, who has a relative of the legendary wrestler Damon Shondale, obviously legendary wrestler. It'll be great having Stevie Fee on. He was the 2024 winner of the Damon Shondale Memorial Battle Royal. He's only been going in wrestling for a year and has become LDN's biggest breakout star. So it'll be great having him on as well. But as for this show, this has been awesome. Great interview with Redmond. Great insight on his professional wrestling career, and hopefully I'll see you next week for Stevie Fee. But as for this has been great, and thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.